Hello, my creepies, and welcome back to the channel. It is so nice to see you, and I'm really excited to discuss today In a Violent Nature. Yeah, you heard me talk about this film before it was out, when it was on the festival circuit. I even did a reaction. If you want to check that out, you can here. Today is a full review. We will have non-spoiler and spoiler in this. I will have chapters, so if you don't want the spoilers, you stop watching at the end of the non-spoiler review, and I'm excited to share my thoughts on this movie. But before we do that, if you don't know who I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of Scream. And if you enjoy all things horror, from movies, discussions, reactions, and video games, this is the channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and make sure to hit that like button if you do enjoy this video. Now, there is a lot of chatter on the interwebs about In a Violent Nature. Everyone that I know has seen it. They are split in their opinions. Some loved it, some hated every moment of it. I'm a little mixed. I will tell you guys that I did enjoy watching it, and I will tell you what I did not enjoy about this film as we go further. Again, that'll be in the spoiler section of this, so if you don't want to be spoiled, be forewarned. Now, we know that this is written and directed by Chris Nash. You may have heard the name before, as Chris is also known for a segment in the ABCs of Death Part 2 for Z is for Zygote. If you haven't seen it, go check out ABCs of Death 1 and 2. They're actually not too bad to watch. And then if you're interested to see what else Chris Nash has done, check out Z is for Zygote. I want to know, did you guys see In a Violent Nature? If you did, let me know in the comments. Did you enjoy what you watched? If you didn't enjoy it, why not? I'd love to hear your thoughts on the movie. I love seeing other people's opinions on films because it just gives us a well-rounded view of what people liked and didn't like. I have no... you won't get made fun of here. I don't gatekeep and I don't bash films. So if you know me, then you know I don't shit on films. I do love a good discussion. Now, a couple of my friends, Serial, he was like, he hated the film, everything about it, just disliked it. Rage, my other buddy, he said it's a nature ASMR film. It's a little bit of both. I guess it's a little bit of nature ASMR. This movie made huge waves over at the film festival that it was on earlier this year on the circuit. There were rumors of people vomiting from the scenes in this film. Now, I hate when films get hyped, especially overhyped. I think overhyping a film ruins it. There's been a few films that were overhyped, and when I watched it, I did not see what all the hype was about, and it can ruin a film for somebody. Martyrs, for that reason, when it was released, it was super hyped. I seen it, and I mean, it's a good movie, don't get me wrong, and there will be a Martyrs full spoiler review coming. However, it was overhyped, and I just hate when people overhype it. I know on the festival circuit, you're worried if your film is going to do good, and is it going to get a bigger producer? Are you going to get money thrown to you so you can do more with it? I get that, but when you hype it up like that and give these rumors, I'm expecting, you know, true on gore, vomit, eyes, everything. And we did not get that. Don't get me wrong, the kills are cool. So don't get me wrong on that. But before we dive in, we're going to watch the trailer right here. The plot is when a locket is removed from a collapsed fire tower in the woods that entombs the rotten corpse of Johnny, a vengeful spirit spurred on by a horrific 60-year-old crime. His body is resurrected and becomes hellbent on retrieving it. Definitely so much reminiscent of 80s and Jason Voorhees. I do really enjoy the visuals of this movie and its uniqueness when it comes to the way they do the point of view of the killer, and that is the yoga girl. I will talk about her later on in my spoiler section of this review. Okay, I liked the trailer. I did my reaction to it again. You can check it out there. Now, this is the non-spoiler part of my review, guys. So hopefully you enjoy it. We did get to see the perspective from the killer, which obviously has been done before. We've seen it in Psycho. We've seen it Peeping Tom, Black Christmas, Halloween, Friday the 13th. So it's nothing new. But I do like how far back and close we got to follow the killer. So there was no, like, you knew what was happening. There was no tension on that point where you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Now, you know what I mean? You're already seeing it. It's following the killer. I did like that. I also like the unique videography or cinematography that it had as well. I also loved the fact that Chris Nash is a Friday the 13th fan. And you can really tell that he has a passion and a respect for the franchise. I mean, let alone the franchise, but for Jason Voorhees himself. And how he has a small, slight backstory about the killer named Johnny, who had a trauma happen to him as a child. And we now know that he is a revenant zombie, very, very much similar to Jason Voorhees, as you know, in Friday the 13th, 1980. Pamela, the mom, is the killer, and her son comes back, whether he died or not. That's another theory, another video. But he comes back with a vengeful spirit, as a vengeful spirit. He's a revenant zombie, and he is definitely a definition of a revenant zombie. And we have that here in A Violent Nature. So you can definitely see the love for the Friday the 13th franchise and the love for Jason Voorhees. This is basically a love letter to Friday the 13th. No, it's not a copycat of Friday the 13th. There are differences in this movie compared to Jason Voorhees, especially when it comes to kills. However, you can definitely tell they had a passion for the franchise, which I don't find anything wrong with that. I love when filmmakers do and create films off of movies that they once loved or have a passion for, right? Now, this film did experiment, and I love experimental films. Now, again, it's not a Jason ripoff. This is a love letter to Jason Voorhees himself, I feel. I really enjoyed how he portrayed his killer and what he did. Now, this definitely left me with the 80s reminiscent feel, even though it was a 2024 horror film. Not many movies can pull off or give you that vibe of 80s slasher. Not many. Charlie's Farm did that for me, and I love Charlie's Farm. However, this film pulls it off. It gives you that 80s slasher vibe, which is good, especially when you have a movie like this. I really enjoyed the visuals of nature in this movie. I love the cinematography, the videography, everything about the visuals of the film. I really did enjoy the pan through the forest, watching him. I think, and watching the victims, which you also get to see. I did enjoy that. I also, the sounds in this film, from the crickets chirping at night to the bones snapping, very good. I really enjoyed the sounds. They're sloshy, they're moist. I do like the sound, so that's really good. The acting was okay. It wasn't terrific. It was good. It was good acting for a horror movie, right? Yeah, I think I got all the non-spoiler reviews out here. Will I watch it again? Yeah, I'll probably watch it again. Is it a film that I will watch like 100 times like I've done Friday the 13th or one of my other films that I love watching? Probably not. And I've only watched this film once, so I will most likely watch it again a second time, maybe a third time, to see if there's other things I may have missed. Now, if you don't want to be spoiled, make sure you stop the video here, because we are going to get into the things that I liked about this film and disliked about the film, and there will be spoilers, unfortunately, because I kind of figured to give you guys one video. So what did I love about this film? I love the fact that the boy is a revenant zombie. I love the fact that removing the necklace, which his spirit, his self is attached to. So when that is snatched and taken, it awoken the beast. I liked that. I thought it was very reminiscent of Friday the 13th. I like that we received a short backstory of Johnny. Even though the story had some holes in it, it was a decent story. And no, I don't think we fully need a fleshed out backstory for a slasher film. The slasher films are just, slashers, right? Blood, guts, and ass everywhere. We really don't need a full on fleshed out backstory, which I thought was really good for this as well. Like I said earlier, the acting wasn't bad. I prefer my horror movies, especially slashers, to have no final person trope, no final girl, no final boy or couple. And we know a lot of horror films, unfortunately, have that trope of final person. And I mean, honestly, why do we need a final person in a slasher? I mean, the myth of the town that the town has, or the people of the town have, should be plenty enough to come up with a sequel or even a trilogy for that matter. Anyways, as you know, people fucking survive, and that's a disappointment. That's a big, really big disappointment for me. Chad. Oh, I called him Chad. So Troy, there's every slasher has that one person or two people that you really want dead. Like you're cheering for their death. Troy was one of them. He should have been named Chad because he is your Chad. He is your douchebag boy in the film. It was great when he died. Definitely great when he died. I really enjoyed how the victims realized so quickly, like, oh my God, something is wrong, and set them into a panic. You can hear them discussing, okay, this is not right. We can't find anybody. You can hear the panic. They're going to go off and get some help. Normally in a slasher, it's usually the final girl is finding all of her friends dead, right? So normally that's how that goes. In this one, not so much. You're actually getting people, they're panicked, they know what's going on. They haven't really seen a body yet. Now they're going to get help, and that's when they actually see the body or bodies, which I thought was really cool. I like the fact that when they meet up with the ranger knew exactly what they were talking about. There was no pussyfooting around it. I thought that was really cool. I like the tension build up for the victims. So there are scenes, and you'll see them, there are scenes where the victims are looking back into the forest at specific areas of the movie, and you can feel that tension, like something's supposed to happen, but nothing happens. I like that tension. I do. Jump scare wise, no jump scares from what I thought. Maybe you might actually get jump scared. That is what I liked about In a Violent Nature. And now we'll get on to what I did not like about this film. Oh, I did forget one thing. There is a kill that is chef's kiss. Okay, it's the yoga girl kill. I effing loved that kill. That kill was like an orgasm for my eyeballs. Seriously, it is. And if you go watch this movie, you'll know what kill I'm talking about. It is the best kill in the film. It is the best kill in the film. It's one of the best. I really enjoyed it. Now, I will tell you about some underwhelming kills, which this one has. There could have been so much more, but let me not get ahead of myself because I'm going to jump all over if I do. Okay, the pacing of this movie is slow. Could it have been cut down from an hour and a half? Yes, it could have. There are certain parts where I'm just like, all right, get on with it already. I'm done. You know how like in Family Guy, Peter Griffin falls, hits his knee, and he's sitting there for like what feels like 5 hours saying, yeah. Ah! 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 Cut. You know what I mean? Just cut some of that shit out. It was becoming almost ridiculous to see. Like I said, some of the kills, they were decent, but they were lackluster and underwhelming for me. There was a great opportunity for an epic effing kill in this movie. And I mean, more epic than the yoga girl one. And I'll tell you how this one goes. Anyways, the ranger, spoiler alert, it gets killed. And the kill is, again, it's okay. It's okay. However, the log splitter, right? There's a log splitter. And I'm thinking, this is great. put him on that log splitter, split him from the middle up, right from the balls. Let's like right on through. Well, this would have been an epic friggin' kill. Yeah, okay, special effects galore, but still, if you hit him up at the balls and it goes up all through his stomach, through his chest cavity, splits him right up through the center, and right, that would have been epic. No, that's not what we get. This is not what we get. We get a couple of body chopping pieces off. Again, lackluster. If you go and watch this movie, which I think you should, you'll know the part that I'm talking about that could have been more, could have been way more. And I think that kill, they failed on that area with that kill. That kill could have been so much more epic. The ending of the movie as well, just lackluster, underwhelming. What the hell were you thinking about the ending of this film? It sucked. It sucked. You were probably better off killing everybody in the most violent, creative ways you possibly can, and then that would have been good. I didn't like the ending. It was definitely a huge disappointment. The fact that everybody was alive as well, not everybody. The final girl out of her friends was alive, and that was disappointing to me as well. I think the ending could have been so much more, and I think it could have left it open. But again, it is left open. Maybe there will be a sequel to In a Violent Nature. Who knows? Overall, I will say it is a decent movie. Would I watch it more than like 2 or 3 times just to watch? Probably not. I like to watch movies like this a couple more times because there are things that I missed the first time around that a second and third watch, most likely a second watch, will be enough for me. Where I'll find other things that I did enjoy about the film or didn't like about the film. My review on the matter, out of 5, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 limbs. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 limbs because of the one amazing kill, plus the videography, the cinematography, and the fact that Chris Nash is a Friday the 13th fan, and that you can see this was definitely a love letter to the franchise and Jason Voorhees himself. Should you go out and see it? Yes, you should go out and see it. This movie should be on Shudder here very soon. It is on digital services, so VOD platform for you to rent it or buy. I don't think you would be fully disappointed, and I don't think it's a waste of time. I honestly don't think any movie is a waste of time. So if you know me, you know that even if it was a shit movie, there was always something redeeming about it. There's very few movies that don't have any redeeming values. This one does, and I would definitely tell you to go out and watch it. And if you do go out and watch it, please let me know in the comments. Come back here. Tell me what your thoughts on the movie. Did you like it? Did you think it was a POS? I want to know. And before we head out, if you guys are liking video games, horror video games, give me a comment down below as well. I'm going to be adding a couple of horror reviews for video games that I currently play, as well as live playthroughs. I will be going live on this channel a couple of times a week, so you guys will get to be able to see some live horror games. And do you have a favorite horror game? Let me know down below. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe, like, you know the drill, guys. Anyways, I will slash you all later. Bye.